everyone, it's Julie and welcome back to my channel. I am going to work in this book. It's called the Floral Designs and Motifs. I love this book and I've used it before in some of my other videos. It just has the outline images of flowers and also the name of the flower. And I decided to do this tiger lily. I just love the colors of tiger lilies. And I'm going to trace this design. I copied that one page off and I'm going to trace that with my heat erase pens. I can see through this really well. I'm just using a natural colored muslin, and I do have a piece of interfacing that I've ironed on the back of that muslin. So I have it completely traced on except for the filaments, and I'm going to do that by hand with just some embroidery floss, just an outline stitch. But to my sewing machine I'm going to go, and I do have just an all-purpose brown thread on. I started off using a bobbin thread in white, and then I realized I could kind of see that bobbin thread through to the top, and so I changed it to a dark, that same colored thread. I just wound a bobbin with the brown thread. So I have both brown thread in the bobbin and on the top, and I'm just going over this outline. Now I'm using a heat erase pen here, so the pen will disappear when I iron it. So I'm not too concerned if I get off a little bit. And again, like I'm just tracing. Some areas I'm going over twice, especially to move from one place to another. And this is what it looks like. Now I'm going to take this and back to my ironing board, and I want to get rid of that heat erase pen. And then I just had so many problems with this puckering. Leave in the comments what I did wrong. I'm thinking maybe it just shrunk. I don't know if maybe I should have pre-washed the muslin or maybe pre-washed the interfacing or both. Yeah, so at this point I hated this project, but I stuck with it. I just pulled up a diagram or just an illustration of a tiger lily just to get the colors. And I'm going to be using my Inktense pencils for this, just to add some color. And I'm picking out, I picked out like a rusty orange, and then a more of a brighter orange and a lighter orange, and then a yellow for the lilies. And then I did the same with the leaves, like a darker green and then a lighter green. And then I also use a little bit of the yellow for the leaves as well. So those are the colors I picked out. Now I'm using my Derwent pencils. These, they're like an Inktense, but you could use other things. Just use what you have. I've done this with just watercolors before. I've also shown how I've used like a child's grade oil pastels in a couple other videos. Really inexpensive. These pencils are pricey. I do this for my job, and I just I guess sucked it up and invested the money in them. Love them, but like I said, use what you have. I started with that darker orange around the edge, and then I'm just using my fabric medium. And again, all my items will be linked down below. I'm using a fabric medium to activate it with just a paintbrush. I think I used a 1/4 inch angle paintbrush for this. And then I'm just layering. I just continue to add the different colors of orange. And I'm working more of the yellow or the lighter oranges in the center. I've put probably 3 or 4 different layers. I'll go back in with a darker orange and just kind of build the color. And just really makes it more intense that way. Now if you watch my videos, you know that sometimes I use fabric medium and sometimes I use water and sometimes I use aloe vera gel. All of them work to activate these. Sometimes if I don't know for sure if the project is going to be washed or not, I'll use the fabric medium. But honestly, I think even using water is going to keep these fairly permanent. That's what's nice about the Inktense, is they are permanent once they're dried. So just kind of use what you have or do some experimenting. And I'm just, like I said, just continuing to add color and blending and adding more layers. In a little bit, you're going to see that I use a pencil sharpener to sharpen one of my pencils. I do have a pencil sharpener that's made for colored pencils. It's just a really higher, end colored pencil or pencil sharpener for these types of pencils. And the pencil wasn't dull, but sometimes when I use these this fabric medium, it builds up on the pencil, and it makes so the pencil doesn't really work. And then so I just sharpen the pencil, and then it's back to normal. So I just wanted to bring that to your attention, that sometimes does happen when you're using fabric medium, but it's easily fixed. Just sharpen your pencil a little bit, and then you can go on. I did add a little bit of yellow to the end tips of those leaves. And once this is all done and ready the way I like it, I went back to my ironing board, and I'm with a press cloth. I'm going to press this just to set in those inks. I'm just heat setting it. Just helps push it into the fibers. And again, my puckers are still there, but I'm going to finish this wanting to add some borders, and so I'm taking some of this extra fabric off. And then taking some fabrics and just for my borders, and I'm bringing back some more plaids. I've been done so many projects with these plaids that I got from the thrift store, and I don't have very many of them left, but I'm just kind of deciding what I like. I have a green there too, but I just didn't like the green as well. And so I'm going to work with that plaid, and I just did a little orange layer, and then the plaid layer, I think I'm going to use it as part of the binding as well. And so I decided to do, okay, I have a layer of batting, and then I have my backing. And what I decided to try to do is to do some free motion stitching, like a meander stitch, with that batting on the back. And I'm going to meander stitch all the way around these little flowers and try to disguise that puckering. And it worked really well. You don't even see the puckering at this point, because the quilting kind of puckers anyway. I mean, it just kind of adds some dimension to your work. And so I'm back to my sewing machine with my free motion foot on, and I have just cream colored thread, or it just matches the background. And I'm just going quite tight, just doing this squiggly quilting free motion meander stitch. Kind of going into some of the details too, just in and out of all these little petals and leaves. And this is what it looked like. And you can see what the backing is too, that batting. And now for the backing, I'm just going to add it in. I'm just going to lay it on the top, and then I'm going to just take this when I watch TV tonight, and I'm going to put that in down, just hand stitch that binding on the back. And now I've got my India ink pit pens. These come in 4 different nib sizes, and I'm using the small, but they come in extra small, medium, and bold. And the India inks are permanent and they're waterproof, and they don't bleed into the fiber. Like an alcohol ink or Sharpie will bleed into the fiber. So I put all the freckles on with that, and then I just hand stitched the filament or the stamen and put some little seed beads on them. And you'll see some pictures at the end. The binding went together so well. And at this point, this is just really a cute little mini quilt. I'm glad I stuck with it. Put this cute little holder on it. I hope you enjoyed this, everybody. Hope you have a chance to create this week. Bye for now.